Hey everybody, call me Félix, and today we have another instant noodles episode, another gourmet one. We did ramen nagi last time. We're doing Mendokoro Ramenba. That's
Shoyu and super Chashu.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's one of the most popular, if not the most popular, and locally grown ramen chain in Metro Manila. They think they only have 4 locations in Metro Manila, and then they have a couple in Cebu, but they are famous for their really balanced ramen. Okay, so we are going to try our shoyu first. This is like the best-selling ramen. This is the take-home ramen kit.
Shoyu broth.
So from my understanding, these take-home kit boxes are smaller than what you get from ramen nagi, which serve 2. So I think one bowl is pretty much individual sized.
Yeah, it's individual size.
They come in like this really cute square box. That's the pork there. Those are the noodles. Look at that. Still have some yeastiness there. Look at that. Fresh noodles. So I think these take-home ramen kit boxes, they really have like a shorter shelf life. So you really need to go by what the expiration date goes by, or the sell-by date tells you. So you really get the freshest product possible. And you gotta eat it right away because, you know, ramen, gotta eat it right away. So, I do have 2 more take-home ramen kits from Mendokoro Ramenba. Again, this from Metro Manila. Was delivered up here, all the way up in the jungle of Ilocos Norte in our backyard. So, I did order 4 take-home ramen kits from Mendokoro Ramenba. And I just grouped them, and basically, this is to show you, this is the best-selling broth. And then what they have on their quote-unquote secret menu is the super shasha, which is generally the same soup, but just with a thicker slab of pork belly. Who wouldn't want that? Okay, so there are some neat instructions. They look like it's a manual for putting together a microwave. Very nice. Very nicely designed, I would say.
The noodles for 1 minute or
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is boil our tonkotsu broth. And what you have to do is add 3/4 of a cup of water, and you let it come to a rolling boil. I should tell you a little bit of Mendokoro Ramenba, which is not it's not a global chain like Ramen Nagi is, but they were born and made in the Philippines, and it is pretty much one of the top. If you read all the publications here in the Philippines, and especially, you know, for Metro Manila, it is considered the top ramen in Metro Manila, and the Philippines for that matter. And there are lines that go out the door. They only seat about 20 people at one given time. And of course, because of pandemic, you know, they have to lessen that. And these take-home boxes, they've only had them for 1 year, just as it is with the pandemic. And of course, the irony here is that when they took it, they basically laughed at themselves and said, well, you know, before they couldn't sell ramen to you by takeout. Now they have them in these takeaway boxes.
Alright, guys, so let's just put out the noodles.
Which Warren the Cyborg must count down 90 seconds to cook exactly.
3, 2, 1, 89, 88.
You do realize you gave it like a 5-second head start, and then it's really gonna cook for 95 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, you got the meat, the vegetables, and the sauce and oil packets. You gotta keep them there for 30 seconds. And my timer is exact. Like Mr. Warren the Cyborg here.
25.
Okay, now it's over. 30 seconds.
And the butt. Ooh, the butt.
You're the lime bee. Gosh, it's dainty. Look at that. You know, you could put a little more and make it the pattern kind of bigger. Doesn't have to be perfectly uniform. It looks like milk tea soup.
What the?
Like, they look like boba with milk tea. Maybe you should make some bigger drops now. Yeah. They really look... You look like you're making boba milk tea ramen, Warren. Okay. And then you should put your egg. Split it open.
Soft-boiled egg. That was a soft-boiled egg.
That was a soft-boiled egg. It just turned out to be an ugly duckling that hatched out of it.
No, it looks like a mayonnaise, but it's not.
Aye. Alright everybody, Warren just finished up making the first Shoyu ramen. And sorry again for the buzzing, it's a bloody hot day again in the tropics. So I'm gonna go get this integrated with that soy sauce and the oil. It kind of looks like boba milk tea ramen. So here we go, Mendokoro Shoyu ramen. Take home ramen kit. That is nice. It's milky, it's creamy. That sauce, the soy sauce oil, it's full flavored, yet it's not really full bodied, which is good. It's not too salty. There's like a nice harmony that's there, like a bit of like a sesame oil that's really light. Sorry, I do not have any chopsticks. But look at the noodles. Ooh, look at that. How did that? The mouth feels a teensy bit thin. I wonder, they recommend putting 3/4 cup of water in there. I would reduce that a little bit by 10%, personally. But look at those noodles, beautiful. They don't feel uniform. It feels a little rustic. It looks like fresh made noodle. The texture. There we go. The noodle is thicker than your Hakata style noodle that you find at Ramen Nagi or Ichiran. They have a nice bit of chew. It's almost like a cross between it's not as starchy as udon. It has a nice texture, a nice bounce, a nice give in those noodles. It's really nice. Not too long either. Okay, let's try some of this pork, which looks, ooh, look at that. Quite lean, but look at that, falling off, just like that. Can't wait to have the super shell, if that's the case. Look at that. It's lean. It almost has, almost like a light, like grilled chicken sort of taste. Very clean. Very like miso chicken sort of taste. Now you get some more of those noodles again. Now this is a smaller portion of ramen nagi, but this really feels like a real pleasure to eat. Really, I like the medley of flavors. It's just a nice balance. You know, between the soy, there's a little bit of oiliness that's here. Noodles have a nice bit of chew. That pork, although lean, just comes apart easy as you like. The broth is creamy. I think one little thing I would change is probably the recommendation of putting 3/4 of a cup of water. I would like this a little bit more luxurious, more body. Just a teensy bit more body. I think so far I have not tried Ippudo yet. I have not tried the Ichiran yet. I feel like this is my favorite. And I have not gone to the Super Shao yet. I think this is my favorite of the take-home ramen kits. Now, of course, it would be perfect if Warren actually made a marinated soft-boiled egg, which actually held it together and had more solidity. But, you know, other than that, this is a really good bowl of take-home ramen soup. Now, there's kind of like a paucity of ingredients compared to some of the other, you know, ramen shops in Metro Manila. Oh, there's some more of that sunshine yolk egg. But the simplicity, the harmony of all those ingredients put together really make this ramen quite special. Even in take-home form. And as I always say, you gotta try it there at the restaurant, of course. But for a take-home ramen kit, this is pretty dang good. I mean, who would not have known this was take-home? I'm gonna enjoy this bowl of noodles. We're gonna get to our Super Shao Shoyu ramen. And as you can see from that bottom of the bowl, I thought this was a delicious bowl of quote-unquote instant ramen from Mendokoro Ramenba. Now, a couple of things to gripe about, but they're really minor nitpicks, and it's really, I mentioned that you should cut back a little bit on the water, just about 10%, I think, from the suggestion. Thicker mouthfeel is better. And then, the one thing I didn't get around to saying is that they're kind of stingy on the ingredients. You know, once you get into that big, like that slab of pork, and then the noodles, there isn't a lot to cover, and what you get is that really balanced broth at the end. But not that I'm complaining, but I do think there should be a teensy bit more proportion, especially with vegetables there, like those crisp kikurake there. So, that's the only those are the only nitpicks I have. But pound for pound, I would say this is a very flavorful bowl of ramen, instant or at restaurant. You know, really like that balance there. That pork, I'm really impressed by. It's not very heavy. Doesn't feel heavy. Doesn't feel too oily. You know, just right. And how they get it that tender is really, really good. Alright everybody, I came back just in time to watch Warren plate the Super Shao Ramen from Mendokoro Ramenba. Look at that. Whoa.
Whoa.
That meat just like fell apart. It's not even gonna be intact for the screenshot. Not at all. Super tender Shao pork. Look at that. Of course, Warren, let's see if he can get us a good looking, for once, a good looking soft-boiled egg. I don't know if it's an improvement, but I mean, at least it's more yolky than
more yolky.
Egg whites.
It's more yolky.
Okay, let's put this on our table.
Or how about the sauce?
Of course you gotta put the sauce on. So once again, this looks like boba milk tea. The only difference is a massive slab of pork belly. Right in the center of it. That's the milk tea that I would like. That's for sure. Maybe you should make a spiral out of that. Get inventive with it. You don't have to put it like in little drops.
Oh.
Yeah, do it like that, Van Gogh. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Jackson Pollock's number 5.
Art of Warring. Not
Yes. Van Gogh transformed into Jackson Pollock number 5. Alright, now we have our Super Chashu Ramen. It's basically like the Shoyu ramen I tasted earlier, just with this big fat slab of pork. So, once again, you mix around the oil. Soy sauce, sesame oil. Such a wonderful fragrance. Right there. Okay. Let's give that more distribution. There's the soup bite. Once again, really nice soup base. It's very, very well balanced, creamy, milky. Not too much on the salt, thankfully, given that there are some really notable flavors. And then you have this soy sauce sesame oil. Give you a little oiliness, but not too much. And then like a robust yet refined sesame oil backbone flavor. Like Warren made this put a little teensy less water. I think you may have heard me. So this feels richer. Now then, the big feature in this one is this wonderful Chashu pork. Wow. I think this is a relatively lean piece here. But yeah, look at that. Drooping as if it's going to fall off the prong of the fork. Whoa, goodness. Okay, let me just try that piece of meat out. But before I did, it plummeted back. It's super tender. It was not intact at all for the screen cap. Look at that. Yes. Teensy bit of noodle. I'm gonna go ahead and be quick about it. What you get is this really nice char. That beautiful char there comes off as a nice, grilled, smoky flavor. That meat is more dense. Feels leaner. But then it releases more of that, like a mild sesame miso taste. To me, it almost has like a texture of like tuna steak to me, or a more well done salmon steak. But really, this piece of meat is just disintegrating when you just put even a little bit of pressure. There's quite a nice juxtaposition between like lean taste, the lean dense texture of that meat, and then the fatty or more unctuous parts. There we go. Got that nice crunch of the mushroom. Wish there was more of it. It's like in the first bowl. Noodles again, right on point. Again, they have the nice thickness, not too thin, not too... this feels a little longer than my last bowl. Not too thick, not too thin. Got really wonderful chew. Yeah, digging out more of the mushroom, the fungus. There we go. Yeah, the more I dig into this pork, it's just falling apart. Tissues falling apart. There's wonderful char marks, almost like a uniform, just like beautiful. Just add some more smokiness, more that char of the grill, more umami flavor. I think the tenderness feels a little more dense than I'd like it to be. I want mine a little fattier, but here's a nice portion there. Yeah. Really love that part. Semi-fatty and lean. Releasing more saltiness. Smoky saltiness. Very gentle flavors going on here too. The gentle balance. Again, for me, there's a little bit of a paucity of supporting ingredients. But not that I'm complaining. This is such a harmonic bowl of noodles. And I feel like there's more of it in this bowl for some strange reason. I can't say why. Yeah. There you go. Look at those noodles again. So I think I'm gonna go right on and finish this. This is also quite good. It's basically the same thing as that shoyu ramen, just with a very big, unctuous piece of pork. And I think this is on their secret menu. Well, you can't keep this for secret for too long. But yeah. This is a take-home kit. Really, really spot on as far as it really feels like restaurant quality that you're there at the restaurant. Really, really good. Okay, back in a bit with some final thoughts. Okay, as you can see here, I finished that bowl with super Chashu ramen. So some final thoughts on Mendokoro Ramenba take-home boxes of the Shoyu and Super Chashu editions. Put it mildly, I mean, this is a really great, restaurant quality take-home ramen kit. Pound for pound, I think the best tasting. The portion is a little bit small. But if you get that super Chashu, that's pretty filling. Then feels like to me, and I don't know if it's because there's more pork, that there's more noodles in there to kind of fill it out, the proportion between soup and ingredients. If I had to pick one, well, it kind of depends. Because the super Chashu, if you're kind of put off by, too much pork, then the shoyu's got a nice, very good balance there. The super Chashu, really, really great. Fall off tender. The meat was falling off tender, and even though it's relatively lean. And one thing that impresses me most is that how not overbearing those flavors are from the pork itself. So very refined, very clean. Noodles, really nice. They're a bit on the thicker side, but slurpable all the same. Fresh made as well. So they do have that bready sweetness from fresh made noodles. I think there's a little bit of paucity. They're a little short on the vegetables and some other supporting ingredients. But everything else is good. Everything else is great about it. Mouthfeel, I feel like with the Super Chashu was better with the same proportion of water as the Shoyu ramen. So if you like a creamier mouthfeel like I do, get the Super Chashu. More pork, creamier mouthfeel. There you are. And so we will, in our second part, we'll try two other Mendokoro Ramenba take-home kit boxes, which are the Tantanmen and the Ebi Tonkotsu. So looking forward to that, especially given that this really is well worth the extra cash. Even though, it's basically you're paying for ramen nagi prices, but it's less because it's individual portions. So there. And I feel that this is the best overall package. While ramen nagi has more wow factor as far as the flavors and the extra ingredients and everything, I feel I would take the more balanced bowl here. And so that wraps up for this video. Stay tuned for that second part with a couple more noodle bowls, take-home kits from Mendokoro Ramenba. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, as that really helps a lot. See, thumbs up. And better yet, please subscribe. We have more food adventures. Maybe there's some travel stuff. Maybe if we can get on the road again, that would be great. And then until the next time, keep cool but care. Remember, the empire never ended.